Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today.
Hi everyone, welcome to our third program in Mobility and IoT vertical that we run with our founding partners, Maktapp and Aygaz. My name is Lale Can Gözübüyük and I am the country director for Plug and Play Turkey. Well, we are in our third program and today is the public part of our second focus week. We call this day a meetup day. This week's theme, as selected by our founding anchor partner, Aygaz, is digital commerce. In simple terms, we can define digital commerce as buying and selling via digital channels, such as the internet, mobile networks, and commerce infrastructure. Yet nowadays, digital commerce is just so much more than just a sales channel. Let's take an example from a recent study that says 65% of the customers study a product online before they actually go to the store and buy it. Hence, the strength of your digital channels impact pretty much everything, your company's sales, reachability, PR, image, you name it. Well, in other words, digital commerce is a way of being in contact with your customers. And since customer expectations can change in an instant, the company's ability to adapt might end up depending highly on the strength of their digital channels. As you can imagine, there are a number of subtopics under the theme of digital commerce. To make efficient use of our time with you today, we shall focus on a few. These are data mastering, dynamic pricing, hyper-personalization, backbone integrations, and delivery technologies. As Plug and Play, we have hundreds of corporate partners all over the world, and having worked with them closely over the several years, we do know how increasingly important the topic of digital commerce has become. If you or your company is feeling like you may have more to learn in terms of adapting to the digital expectations of your customers, I highly recommend that you pay close attention to what we have to say today. At Plug and Play, we truly believe with our network of over 600 blue chip corporates, 40,000 plus startups, 180 plus venture firms, universities, governments, and all the other stakeholders, we have created a powerful ecosystem that can make an impact. You may check out Plug and Play's website and YouTube channel to have a look at some of our achievements. Well, as I always do, I would like to remind that the main goal of the events we organize, such as this one, is to accelerate your corporate innovation. You can follow our events and request to have follow-up meetings with the startups that present, or may contact us to get more information. If you would like to take your innovation journey to the next level and work more closely with Plug and Play, consider joining Maktapp, Aygaz, and AutoCoach as corporate partners. Thank you very much for listening to me, and this is all I have to say today. I wish you an informative and enjoyable meetup day. Now I'll pass the stage to Zuhal Erdil, Innovation and Intellectual Property Manager at Aygaz, who will also welcome you as the co-host of this Focus Week.
Dear ecosystem stakeholders, welcome to the new Focus Week of Plug and Play Mobility and IoT vertical, of which MES and Aygaz are founding partners. My name is Zuhal Erdil. I'm an Innovation and Intellectual Property Manager in Aygaz. This Focus Week's theme is Next Generation Technologies in E-Commerce. Aygaz is an only fully integrated LPG company in Turkey operating in all LPG processes, including procurement, storage, and filling, as well as production and the sale of LPG devices that established in 9061. Aygaz is also the first and only public LPG company and also market leader in Turkey, and currently provides its services with almost 4,000 cylinder gas dealers and autogas stations. Apart from LPG, we also operate in many different fields. When we look back, we can say that almost all innovations in Turkish LPG industry were carried out by Aygaz. We have always been a brand trying to reach innovation and push its limits. Our entrepreneurship program, which is named I Think, started in 2016. We have learned and experienced a lot of things in our corporate entrepreneurship program. As one of the most innovative companies in the energy sector, we aim to strengthen and expand the entrepreneurship ecosystem and to lead a developed entrepreneurship culture in Turkey. We will continue to create value by directing our investments to innovative products which will create synergy with our current main business lines and focus areas. Aygaz has focused on developing innovative products and services with the solutions of innovation and digitalization. We continue to work uninterruptedly to realize ideas and projects that will create value for our stakeholders and turn them into benefits. We are looking for new business areas with sustainable growth by creating future business models in line with our strategies and focus areas. Some of Aygaz's focus areas on innovation and digitalization are data management, servicing, digitalization, sharing economy and collaboration, behavior modification, innovative business models, developing alternative products that will provide competitive advantage and sustainable improvements in our business process. We are searching the new business models in these fields with the entrepreneurship program and startup collaborations. With our digital transformation program, we continue with the initiative of Kustomer, digital employee, smart logistics, and project production and analytical sales management. Our main purpose is to be a company closer to our customers with the increasing digital experience that will transform the way of doing business. We are operating to expand our big data platform and to feed decision support systems by making sense of every data produced by our company. Today, we will listen to innovative solutions that shape the future of e-commerce and work in the field of unified e-commerce technologies, and we will evaluate our possible cooperation opportunities and learn new things together. As all we know, with the e-commerce internet network, consumers and potential customers can be informed about the activities of businesses that offer products and services anywhere in the world, and they can buy products and services. This makes it easier to operate in the global market. In addition, e-commerce is less costly than traditional commerce methods. Research shows us that the number of entrepreneurs and their success in the markets has increased in the last period of rapid development of technology. This is because with e-commerce, entrepreneurs can open their business without the need of large amount of capital or savings, and they can also develop their businesses at low cost. E-commerce offers to the companies and startups some opportunities, such as accessibility, proximity to markets, a low-cost solution, two-way communication, and also branding process and marketing, so that they can reach their goals faster with these conveniences. In order for all these studies to be carried out successfully, and for the company to grow by making regular sales, and the operational processes must be carried out well. One of the most important issues in this process is logistic management. For example, transportation of the products, checking the product stock status, storage of the products and monitoring of these processes, and also delivery of the products to the customer. All these operations should be well organized for the complement to all other works. We can say that all these are cornerstones of the operation management. Because if the product management is not done correctly and the process from the supply to the product and to the customer is not managed well, it can harm e-commerce companies in the long run way. Today, while listening to the startups, we ask you to evaluate the opportunities in the field of e-commerce, what we can do, in which field, and which needs these applications can solve. Thank you for listening to me. I hope today will be a good event that we will all enjoy and benefit from. Have a good day.
Thank you, Zoal Hanım. Next, we have our keynote speaker, Felipe Castro. Felipe is the co-founder and chief compliance officer of Utrust, a Web3 payments technology company. He's an executive in the crypto assets industry with previous experience in early stage ventures, tech and corporate digital transformation. He's an early advocate for the use of distributed ledger technology and digital assets as parts of financial innovation. He holds an MD in computer engineering from FEUP, an MBA from China Europe International Business School, and MIT Sloan specialization degree in blockchain technologies for business. Today, Felipe will talk about Web3 and how to make sense of it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Philippe. I'm founder and chief compliance officer at Utrust. Today, I'm going to touch upon some topics related not only with Utrust and what we do, but about cryptocurrency and Web3 as well. So for the ones that might not be aware of what we do at Utrust, we work with mainly merchants, allowing them to easily accept cryptocurrency payments from their buyers in a seamless and easy to integrate way. We do this either during the checkout process with a plugin or by providing a way to invoice their customers to be paid with cryptocurrency. We want to make sure that the merchants, by accepting this new way of paying, that they're not exposed to the volatility associated with crypto assets. And that this is a very easy way for them to grow their business, grow internationally, grow their sales, get more exposure to this new ecosystem, to this new market, to this new world that they might not be even aware it exists. So for some of the more traditional players in the e-commerce world, this is a completely new reality, but a new reality nevertheless, because it's part of our financial future. I would say even our financial present, especially for many of the younger generations. Now, we want to make sure that this whole integration, this whole experience is not only seamless and safe for the merchants, again, taking away the exposure and the volatility exposure, but also making sure that in terms of the UX is very easy for crypto natives, holders of crypto assets to easily go through the checkout process and pay using any wallet. We don't want to create a walled garden, but we want to make sure everyone can use and pay in our ecosystem, no matter which chain they are using. For the merchant, we again take away all the volatility and make sure that this plays along with all the other payment options, that it works with their accounting, with their systems. It's business as usual, and it's simple, and there's basically no risk. In a nutshell, that's what we do at Utrust. Now, how does this play along with financial rails and the rise of cryptocurrencies? Now, in the last few years, we have been seeing the meteoric rise of cryptocurrencies. Price, market cap, volatility, it has its ups, it has its downs, but long story short, it's been consistent success story. But one of the areas that, passed a little bit unnoticed has been the payment space. And it's actually quite important because when you think about it, one of the few areas of real utility that we absolutely need for this whole crypto ecosystem is to be able to spend our assets, our crypto assets natively in goods and services. And that's something that has been really evolving quite a lot since the early days. We are part of it, bringing this way of paying to users and merchants, because without the merchants, there's really no way to make this happen. We want to make sure that there's outlets for us to be able to use our assets to pay, to provide liquidity to the market, to make sure that we have avenues of use to our assets. Now, we do this by working with the merchants and making sure that we are kind of the bridge between the traditional and the crypto side, kind of a Web 2.5 right now. If you think of Web 3, it's all about the ethos of decentralization and ownership and control over your own assets. When we talk about Web 3, it's not only the decentralization element that matters, but why that decentralization brings resilience and the role of the users, of the nodes in the network. In Web 3.0, we actually become owners of our own assets, of our own content, of our own data. We're not simply users, but we are content creators. We are the owners, the real owners of that intangible asset. Now, the beautiful thing is that this actually enables a whole new slew of innovations that were either impossible or extremely difficult to do without a range of intermediaries in prior years. It gives choice and it provides a way for people to be empowered and to gain more leverage on how they keep, how they spend, and how they monetize their own money and their own lives to protect against asset inflation, which is nowadays extremely pervasive all around the world, to protect against volatility, either political volatility or volatility associated with elements outside of their control in their own national or international financial system, as a way to diversify and protect them against unknown unknowns. All of those help people become more resilient as part of this new ecosystem. As content creators, it also gives the rise for people to actually become intertwined with blockchain native elements, to create pieces of art, to create things that can be validated and associated and priced on chain. And that alone is a game changer. So a lot of people certainly heard about NFTs. NFTs are art, but they're art that is simply on chain. And that for many content creators has been a game changer. Even in the context of payments, it enables amazing opportunities. So if you think of, for example, vouchers and the simple voucher that you use to accrue points on when you do a payment, and you get a coupon and you put a stamp on it, maybe you get some special prize like oh, that's a really nice extra that I got after I got 10 points or 10,000 points. Imagine a version of this in Web 3.0 where after a certain accrued number of purchases on your favorite merchant, you get ranked up and you get a special collectible just for that merchant that will give you special perks, access to new discounts, access to new promotions, actually access to a special club that can be displayed and validated to others, and best part of all, can actually be traded in an open market at fair value. So it's not only that you get the same things that you're getting in the physical world, but you get the same things with an accrued value as part of a network of value that can be freely traded, freely valued in an open market. And that is truly game changing in terms of how we participate in those networks, those value networks that already existed for a long time. And I think that's one of the most amazing parts of Web3.
Thank you very much, Felipe, for this great speech, and a warm welcome to all our guests today. I am Clemente Francavilla, and I work as a ventures analyst at Plug and Play Istanbul. It is my pleasure to announce today's technology focus and startups. As you might already know, today's topic is digital commerce. When we consider today's topic, we must take into account the people, processes, and technologies to execute the offering of development content, analytics, promotion, pricing, customer acquisition and retention, and customer experience at all touchpoints throughout the customer buying journey. The startups that we'll present today all have one objective in common: maximize and boost D2C commerce channels and websites. With this focus in mind, we have gathered 7 international startups founded by experts in the sector. Today, we're thrilled to be able to host them as they come from different countries and time zones. The startups presenting come from the United States, Turkey, France, Qatar, and Germany. So without further ado, let us start with the startup introductions that you have been waiting for. Please welcome Reactful, founded in Palo Alto in 2013. It understands all critical aspects of a website, translating them into human behaviors such as interest, confusion, hesitation, etc.
Hi, I'm Megan Eisenberg, the CMO of MongoDB. We're an open source database company. As a marketer, we're supposed to really focus on attracting, converting, and keeping customers. And what I love about Reactful is it really improves the conversion rate on our website. We spend all this money to get people to our web properties, and then we lose them if we don't put the right content in front of them or create this great experience. And Reactful really creates a really interactive experience based on their intent and their action and what they're doing. And we spend a lot on content, so I want to make sure that they see the content and they interact with it and they convert. So Reactful is different than other conversion tools out there because it really responds based on their reactions on your website. It's looking at their intent, where they move the mouse, if they're going to leave the page, and so it serves up the right response based on that and helps us engage better with our web audience as well as have them convert based on the content that makes the most sense.
Thank you very much, Megan, for presenting Reactful. We'll now move on with our next startup from Turkey. Founded in 2013 in Istanbul, Prisync is a competitor tracking application for e-commerce companies, helping its clients deal with the fired-up competition in the e-commerce market by tracking the prices and stock availability of competitors' products. We'll now hear more about their product.
Hello everyone, I am Burç. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Prisync, which is an e-commerce pricing software. So, Prisync is co-founded by 3 co-founders, where one of them is actually me, and I also have 2 nice co-founders, where Samet is leading our technical efforts, so he's our CTO, and I also have Shirin as one of my co-founders, who is also leading the head of development. So basically, we are 3 co-founders where I am mostly dealing with the business side of things, I like to say, and Samet and Shirin mostly are dealing with the technical side of the business. But obviously, we always come together to discuss all company-related stuff. So I would like to start describing our company by really starting with the fact that we rely upon when we started up the company. So like it or not, and people mostly don't like it, pricing is almost everything in e-commerce. I mean, people don't really like to, discuss about pricing. They don't like to call themselves cheap, etc. But being cheap, but maybe more like being affordable, is vital in e-commerce because 90% of online shoppers simply benchmark and spend almost like 10 minutes on benchmarking different resellers' prices online. And also when asked to the online shoppers almost 60% of them actually state as the single most important criteria being price point of a product when it comes to making a purchase or not. And also from a marketing standpoint, almost 20% of website traffic generated by e-commerce companies are actually coming from direct business to consumer price comparison engines like Google Shopping, etc. from all around the world. So regardless of the importance and vitality maybe of this fact, pricing is still managed in a terribly manual way and not in a smart way at all in the market, and we really regard this our main problem to be addressed. And when I mean manual, people are literally wasting a ton of time, for example, to benchmark their own prices versus the competitor prices. And due to this limited and actually broken efforts, they gain really limited or maybe no actionable insights to act upon in a strategic and data-driven way. And as a result of this, they rarely change their prices, so they leave a lot of money on the table. And also they actually cannot make enough amount of sales to really run and scale their businesses. So the solution we developed to kind of get rid of this problem is called pricing. And our strategy, our aim is to make pricing way more smarter than before. And we built a competitor price tracking engine, a competitor price monitor, and on top of that, with all the data generated by our engine, we built a nice pricing analytics module. And with all the data crunched by our engine, we also give dynamic pricing engine capabilities to our merchants to let them automatically change and optimize their prices on the fly to make more sales and better profit margins. So we currently serve more than 700 customers from more than 50 countries, and to be honest, more than 99% of our revenue is coming from outside Turkey, which is our headquarters. So to sum things up, we basically address two vital markets. So the first part is actually a huge value in pricing optimization, and the other one is actually e-commerce. So we believe that solving this puzzle of pricing optimization e-commerce has a huge business opportunity. And so far, we proved that we are kind of right by having the privilege of working with more than 700 customers across 50 countries. Thanks a lot for listening, and feel free to contact me via my email address given here. Bye.
It was a great presentation from Prisync's team. Thank you. Next, we'll hear about Commander's Act, which was founded in 2017 in Paris. Thanks to its CDP, Commander's Act is able to cover the full data cycle, going from an agile data integration tool to a comprehensive data activation platform. Commander's Act is the only European vendor for enterprise tag management, and it is in the top 3 according to Gartner analysts. We'll now listen to Commander's Act presentation.
Have you ever wondered how online advertising affects offline purchases? Did you know that 59% of online users are still receiving messages not aligned to their interests or needs? The secret ingredient? Be customer-centric. Commander's Act integrated platform allows you to implement customer-centric strategy, connecting data omnichannel and filling the gap between online and offline. How? The customer journey is complex. People interact daily with a lot of communication through different channels and in different ways. But who are you trying to talk to? The only way to measure the impact of online interactions with offline is to be able to have a single and cross-device view of the customer, creating a one-to-one engagement. Understanding the purchase behavior on-site and in-store is key to create targeted communication based on customers' real interests and needs. Commander's Act helps you to activate your data omnichannel and monitor the performance of all campaigns. You will be able to understand which combinations of touchpoints is influencing a purchasing decision. In one single dashboard, you will also have a clear view of the contribution of each channel for specific KPIs and even the cost associated to it in order to understand the ROI and optimize your media investments. You want to know how your online investments are impacting offline purchases and the synergy between the two? Commander's Act, the integrated platform that fills the gap between online and offline.
Thank you for presenting Commander's Act to us. I would like to introduce you to Mindside, which was founded in Istanbul in 2019. Mindside enables e-commerce professionals to boost their online sales by tracking and analyzing e-commerce fundamentals such as product availability, price and promo strategy, product content, and brand visibility. We'll hear more details from the presentation video.
Hello everyone, I am Ismail Arabzadeh, co-founder of Mindside. Mindside is the e-commerce analytics and insights platform enabling brand and sales teams to take data-driven decisions by providing real-time price, promo, content, and share of voice data from different e-commerce platforms. Currently, we operate in 4 different countries and have partners like Procter & Gamble, Unilever, eBay, and Johnson & Johnson. So, all businesses need KPIs to track. And in e-commerce, we group them under 3 main pillars: visibility, content, and price. All those KPIs are essential and fundamental for the healthy business assessment and mandatory for decision taking. But companies cannot measure those KPIs properly with manual processes and human power because of high listing numbers and dynamic data in e-commerce. To solve this problem, we developed an engine that collects all required data from more than 120 e-commerce websites at real time. Then using our models and product matching algorithm, we process approximately 2.5 million data points each day for each customer and generate actionable insights and reports. Our customers can reach the data via our platform whenever they want. We divide our product line into 4 main areas. At price, we measure availability and buyback scores, track pricing and promotion versus competition. For visibility, we calculate the share of search, taxonomy, and banners. For content metrics, we check the compliance of images, titles, descriptions, and analyze rating review performances. And at dark stores, we make all those analysis and checks for each desired location. At Mindside, you will have real-time web and mobile data, get dedicated account managers who make onboarding processes extremely easy and generate business insights for you. You will use historical data to make trend analysis and have access to executive summaries and 80+ report templates. And rather than using multiple tools for different metrics and countries, you will have them all in one platform. We look forward to hearing you. Thanks.
A big thank you to Mindside's team for presenting today. Founded in 2012 in Doha, Maktapp is a market leader in creating digital products and smart solutions that help its clients work better in accordance with the highest standard of quality and efficiency. Maktapp is a cloud business administration software for office management. It is a cloud solution that utilizes many features such as ERP, CRM, collaborations, CMS, etc. The company offers different services, including e-commerce building and payment gateway services. They currently offer 3 different products, which are Ministore, Fatora, and Taskat. We'll now hear more about Maktapp's digital commerce, Fatora.
Fatora has helped thousands of merchants to succeed in their projects. How? Through one platform that has everything your business needs. From promoting your products and services to collecting your payments online in very simple steps. Create your own online store and start selling your products and services. Or use the payment link to create custom pages and easily collect payments from customers. Also, you can create invoices and bills with corporate identity that shows your professionalism. And if you have a shop, use the cashier system, which facilitates the sales progress for you. And another great advantage, such as linking with many apps, e-commerce platforms, and e-payment gateways. Help your business succeed. Join thousands of happy merchants and start your success story with Fatora.
It was great learning more about Maktapp's product, Fatora. We'll now go back to Turkey to meet with Maurice Castro from Inveon. Inveon was founded back in 2006 in Istanbul and is delivering enterprise e-commerce software platform and digital growth management solutions to over 60 clients in 15 different countries. At the moment, over 70 million consumers are using Inveon solutions. Let's hear Maurice Castro talk about Inveon.
Hi everyone, my name is Maurice from Inveon. E-commerce landscape is changing, and together with the rise of different flows and customization requirements from enterprise companies, and also scarcity for high-quality IT services, no-code customizable enterprise systems are needed for B2B and B2C commerce. Especially B2B commerce has its own pain points and opportunities like need for personalized experiences, strong integration with current IT systems, and these are addressed by Inveon's products and services. E-commerce is the agile way to build, launch, and expand your e-commerce business across channels, marketplaces, and partners with exceptional high performance, advanced OMS and CMS systems, real-time tracking, and insights features. Inveon provides enterprise companies a successful digital commerce presence through enterprise commerce platform and digital growth management. Through more than 160 experts and 4 offices around the world, we are managing more than 60 clients in 15 countries. From various industries and different countries, Inveon is the e-commerce partner of globally acclaimed brands, from UK's biggest wine retailer to Middle East well-known consumer goods companies are using Inveon infrastructure to create seamless shopping experience. Every passing day, B2B purchasing activities are transitioning from offline to online channels. Customers require a great plan specialized to the unique needs of B2B customers to reach their target audience and drive sales. Inveon is using no-code approaches, works as a growth partner rather than a service provider, successfully leverage technology and vast experience in B2C, B2B, and B2B2C models. So Inveon will be the best partner for your e-commerce business. Please get in touch with us either from our website or from our mail addresses. Thank you.
Thank you, Marius, for telling us about Inveon. Founded in 2015 in New York, Kustomer is a customer service CRM platform helping contact centers and businesses reimagine service and support in today's customer-first world. It is able to do so by delivering unprecedented views of a customer's history, facilitating continuous omni-channel conversations, and using intelligence to automate repetitive tasks and surface knowledge. Let's hear more about Kustomer.
The Customer Timeline is our easy-to-use agent workspace for managing customer conversations. Kustomer unifies all of your data and presents each customer's journey in a chronological view, telling agents everything they need to know, like visits to your website, historical interactions, purchases, and more. To the right, the Insights panel contains additional information and will reflect the event selected in the timeline. Looks like Jen is a bit upset. She just emailed about an incorrect order, but no problem. You can fix that without ever leaving the platform. Let's check out her latest order. Since Kustomer integrates with any system, including your order management system, all the details around her purchase are right here in the platform. Notice the Insights panel updated with new order details and actions. It takes just 2 clicks to create a return label and reship her original order. The exchange is immediately processed and added to her timeline. Now you can let Jen know her issue is resolved. But before you reply, check her order history again and create an upsell opportunity. Go ahead and mention your upcoming sale and include an additional rebate. With everything you need to know about Jen directly in the Customer Timeline, you quickly resolved her issue with a personal touch, making Jen happy and keeping you informed, efficient, and productive.
Hello, everyone. You have just finished watching the 7 top startups from all around the world in the field of digital commerce, and I hope you had a good time. Before moving on to the next part, I would like to introduce myself. I am Kerem, and I work as a Ventures Associate at Plug and Play Istanbul, and today I will moderate the Importance of Data panel, where we host Yerlan from Trans Telecom and Oğuz from Talentum. At this panel, we want to explore why data usage is essential for companies to understand their customers, the latest technologies for utilizing data, and how companies implement these technologies. It's a pleasure to have you both here. So why don't you start with a brief introduction of yourselves, and then I can start to ask my questions. So please, Oğuz maybe first, and then Yerlan second.
Hello, my name is Oğuz, and I'm founder of Talentum AI. And we have been doing AI consulting, basically different data science, machine learning solutions in various different industries, verticals for the last 4 years. And that's the short introduction.
Yeah, hi, my name is Yerlan Minavar. I'm a Chief Innovation Officer at Trans Telecom. Well, first of all, thanks for inviting an enterprise from Kazakhstan, from Central Asia to speak at Plug and Play. I'll tell you a couple of words about Trans Telecom and then about myself. So we are the largest privately owned telco in Central Asia. We basically operate in 3 areas. It's classic telco services. We have systems integration, tech, and cloud. So in terms of telco, we have 24,000 kilometers of fiber optic line that we own and operate. You see the map behind me. We have the largest data center network in Central Asia. We own and operate 10 of our own data centers. And we provide various systems integration services to large enterprises, government entities, and small and medium businesses in Kazakhstan. We have 4,000 people at Trans Telecom. And I actually have a background in tech, in investment banking. I work closely with Plug and Play, and I'm in charge of corporate innovation and bringing that corporate innovation culture to my country.
That's perfect. Really great to meet you. I'm really glad to have you here. So I will start with my question to Yerlan. You have tremendous experience in different sectors and companies, but working in this field, how do you see the data collection and management has evolved in the past years, and why is data collection becoming more and more important each day?
Yeah, thanks, Karim. Yeah, I actually worked in so many different industries, and maybe I'll just focus on the telco part, my most recent experience. So, I mean, obviously, data collection and data analytics is important. It's like a central nervous system of any enterprise. And here at Trans Telecom, like I said earlier, we basically own and operate the entire data management pipeline. So we provide services that collect data, we provide services that transmit data, we provide services where we store data, and we provide services that process data. And based on our experience, because data is so central to a modern enterprise, what we've been seeing recently, our clients, they actually demand more of business solutions versus old asks for just tools. And we're basically keep getting asked from our clients, and we provide services where we solve exact business challenges. Where classically in our space, it used to be like all vendor focused, where you have the existing Cisco's, Dell, HP, where they just come and sell you a piece of hardware. Nowadays, you can't surprise any clients with just a piece of hardware. You actually have to give them, interesting tools that fit their business needs. So there's a big shift towards the, data processing and data analytics side. And even in our enterprise, we've shifted a lot from just offering our client, they call telcos like a dumb pipe, just a dumb pipe services. We focused a lot on the pre-sale and business analytics side, where we actually go in and try to understand the client's problem. And then we go out, not only to vendors, but to startups, to innovative companies that actually provide interesting solutions to existing business problems. So the shift is really for clients who manage a certain industry. They need a solution. They don't just need a tool. They need a proven solution to be deployed on their side.
That's a great answer, and I think this is also a great transition to Oğuz from Talentum, because I think this also shows the significance of startups and technology providers with innovation and their significance to the corporates. So Oğuz, could you tell us more about Talentum, because I know that you're working with lots of different companies. So maybe can you elaborate on the significance of data when it comes to AI and from your experience?
Yes, so when we started in 2017, our focus was to come up to basically deliver solutions to critical problems for different big businesses and help them solve some practical problems, improve their KPIs, and get them to operate better. So in general, we say AI, machine learning, data science, but all of these, of course, require data. And maybe I should give you some examples of what we did. So, for example, for Getir, now it's like a giant, like unicorn company for instant delivery. We did demand prediction. So basically, this was looking at different locations, different areas, and predicting how much demand will be for different products for them. For banks, for example, for one of the big Turkish banks, we did cash optimization. So in that case, the data you use is historical data. You enrich this with additional information such as weather data, currency conversion rates, these kind of things. And at the end, we did predictions of how much cash will be withdrawn and deposited, and with all these predictions on top of that, we optimized basically the cash movements within the bank system. And the end result was a very simple recommendation to the bank manager on what to do. Basically, request some cash, send some cash. So this is like one example. So we work with also other industries in the energy sector, in gaming, in mobile games, with other apps. So we had, I would say most of it was e-commerce, energy, and gaming. So so we have quite experience in different verticals. And when your question is, what's the importance of data? Of course, without historical data, without all this, you cannot really do machine learning. The main difference between machine learning and traditional algorithms is that in traditional algorithms, the software engineer writes the algorithm. In machine learning, you write the machine learning algorithm which learns from the data. So data is extremely critical. And as you work with customers, you see that sometimes they think they have data, but they don't, or they have it, but it's very dirty, it's inconsistent. And a big chunk of the work is to actually do data engineering. So you take all this data and you clean it, you verify it, you process it so that it's ready for the algorithms. And so through experience, we learned, of course, how to do this too. And there is some methodology. And it's extremely important to have good data and to start storing your data in a good way with data engineering and architecture from almost like you need to do it from the day your business starts.
Thank you so much. I think these industries are also really interesting for the Turkish audience, the gaming and energy. So I will come to that later on with additional questions as well. But I want to turn first to Yarlan to ask about the technology focus of Trans Telecom recently, especially when it comes to AI. That could be data collection, data utilization. So I'm wondering what you're doing in Trans Telecom to utilize these technologies, and maybe also if you're working with some startups, have some collaboration with some startups, or have in roadmap. I would like to ask you about that.
Yeah, thank you. And look, what Oz just said, it resonates so much with us, right? Because what we see now is this data being at the center of solution development, right? It's like data-centric architecture. Because here in the telco industry, we basically operate in terms of our systems in two different layers. So we have what we call OSS, operation support systems, and we have BSS, business support systems, right? And here in Kazakhstan, we basically have an industry that was built around legacy apps, and now when we try to introduce new processes and more efficient decision making, we really have to go in and see how these app architecture, how these systems architecture, they fit our business needs. And what we try to do is we try to go in and re-engineer the apps themselves, right? But that really doesn't lead us anywhere, because at the end we're like, wait a second, the technology has changed so much, right? So maybe it just makes sense maybe to throw out the old legacy stuff and just start everything anew. And we see it not only with us, but basically our biggest client is the National Railroad. And our National Railroad, it's also more than 20,000 kilometers of railways. That's 100,000 people operating all over Kazakhstan. They have so many international connections. And us being the biggest cloud service provider to them, they ask us to give them real-time on-demand data so they can make decisions. And when we go in and when we try to re-engineer their old systems, what we realize, we're like, wait, some of these systems, the architecture is so old, the developers, sometimes they're not even existent anymore. And that's where platforms like Plug and Play come in, right? And that's why I really believe that Plug and Play will come and help jumpstart and develop our corporate innovation system in Kazakhstan, because what we do is we take the challenges that we have and we go to our existing vendor. And then when we show it to our vendor, like I said earlier, vendor, first of all, tries to sell you a piece of hardware. And then when we ask them for a solution, what they say is, oh, look, in our portfolio, we have this startup from Silicon Valley that is doing this. And it's not a vendor solution anymore, it's a startup solution. So us, like as an enterprise, what we're thinking, hey, how can we cut out the middleman? And we want to go directly to a startup, right? And even with this first batch of Plug and Play Kazakhstan, we already see that there are so many interesting solutions from startups that leverage new technology in building digital twins, in doing predictive analytics that are they're there like in Silicon Valley. And our goal, like you asked, do we work with startups? We definitely do. And our goal as an enterprise, we have to bridge that connection and take a startup based out of Silicon Valley or based out of Singapore and come and help them localize in our reality, in our mentality. So like I said, I want to reiterate that we have moved on from old vendor-centric model to a more business solution model. And here we really see how we can leverage the global startup ecosystem. And this is where how Plug and Play really helps us bring in innovation to our country, to our region.
That's great to hear. And also great to hear good things about the Kazakhstan office as well. So I want to turn to Oğuz once again to ask about the gaming and the energy industries, because as mentioned, these are quite interesting industries for the Turkish audience as well. As you know, Turkey has produced unicorns and lots of great companies in gaming, and also energy is, I think, a global topic where everyone tries to improve. So Oğuz, can you tell us more about what you do in gaming and energy and how you help these industries?
Yes, actually, so these turned out to be so important for us. Beginning of last year, we completely focused on these two sectors and we split Talentum to two pieces. Now we are two companies, and one of them is only focused on renewable energy and the other one is completely focused on our gaming product, which is called UA Hero. So I think the one common thing is, as you said, both of these are like growing fast in Turkey and actually worldwide, and both of them have in a game studio or in a game publisher, from the moment the studio is started, everything is digital and all the data is recorded, and and similarly for an energy company, for renewable energy, these are like modern devices like wind turbines, wind energy, these kind of things. And all the data is recorded even before the turbines are actually constructed, and everything is available. So what do we offer? So in the energy sector, we have like a suite of products basically for wind farms. We have predictive maintenance solution, which basically makes sure that the turbines don't continue operating. And this is critical because you want your turbine to operate and generate energy. Second is like operational improvements. We look at the different signals and we basically tell some warnings and some improvement points about operation. Like as an example, if the wind is changing directions, and as the wind is changing direction, the efficiency goes down, somebody has to go look at the reasons of this, and we give some insight about this. And the third part is production forecasting. So this is more on the financial commercial side, but due to the energy markets, like how they are arranged, energy provider, like especially a renewable energy provider, has to tell like a day ahead of time how much energy it will produce for the next day, hour by hour, and we help them with these predictions. So you could say that we have an end-to-end solution for the wind energy operator, which makes sure that its turbines are working first of all, working well, and the energy can be sold in the markets with the best profits. And this we are proud of, not just because of the solution, but also because of the green energy and how we are in some direct or indirect way helping the world. The second sector, which we are really focused on, is gaming, and there our product is called UA Hero. In gaming, we actually have a lot, we did, again, multiple projects. We even did reinforcement learning based bots, which learn how to play a game and like DeepMind is an expert in this. They do very sophisticated things. Ours was simpler, but the in Turkey, gaming sector is growing very fast, and we have some unicorns. We had very successful companies here, so it was natural for us to have multiple customers here. So now we focus on something called user acquisition for the gaming sector. So every gaming company has to get basically users who are going to play their game, and we help them optimize their marketing operation, user acquisition operation. So they do marketing and user acquisition on multiple channels like Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and others, on different geographies like different countries, different source apps. Like there's basically different granularity of many decisions that have to be made. And again, back to the beginning, we do all the necessary predictions for all the KPIs, all the different metrics, and we do an optimization, and we make it very easy for the marketing manager to manage this whole operation. So that's what we do in gaming for now, and it's going great. Like we really enjoy both of these.
That's quite interesting. Thank you so much for detailed answer. So once again, maybe I can ask Yerlan. So as you know, data management changes a lot in terms of technology, but also in terms of regulations. And sometimes corporates have kind of difficulties and challenges with adapting to these changes. So what would you suggest to corporates to adapt to these changes? What should they do?
Yeah, so, in terms of regulation, it's a very interesting question for somebody coming from Kazakhstan, right, from Central Asia. Basically, we really applaud the interesting changes that happened in like Europe, for example, with their GDPR initiative, because they're really like at the forefront of governing data privacy and even governing big tech. And when we look at these regulations, first of all, we look at how it affects us. The interesting thing is like for example, the European GDPR laws, they affect companies that work with Europe. We don't have too many European clients, but we also have our own regulator who is trying to model the different approaches that the developed markets use. And in our case, for example, in Kazakhstan, our data privacy regulations, they're kind of like chasing behind. So for us, it's really interesting. We can test so many interesting things, and then we can test them in our market, and then try to see how it fits in a more global regulatory environment. And again, that's one of the ideas for our plug and play program also, is that we offer some kind of like a sandbox here where new interesting solutions could be tested. And our vision is that when we'll take these solutions and then we'll try to deploy them globally. So with what I say, right, for global players when they're trying to promote our ecosystem also. Please look at our region as an interesting test bed for interesting solutions. And we at Trans Telecom, we also provide so much of the data infrastructure that you can use, that you can test, you can deploy. And then we have platforms like Plug and Play that then can help you and can help you take these solutions international. So going back to your question, what's my advice? You can come to us. We can try so many interesting things. I have an industry. I have a large industry here. I have all the infrastructure that you can use, right? I have a favorable regulatory framework that we can come and test, and we can utilize a platform like Plug and Play to try and test interesting things, and then we can work together and deploy them globally and create new unicorns.
That's amazing advice. Thank you so much, Yerlan. So I want to turn once again to Oğuz maybe. So lots of companies actually want to collaborate with startups, as Yerlan also mentioned. Big corporations tend to have this collaboration opportunities really well. So maybe can you elaborate on some cases where you have seen some best cases, and also maybe do not do lists when you work with the corporates? And maybe can you elaborate on the challenges when it comes to this corporate and startup collaboration?
You see, so I mean, usually the challenge like that comes to mind first is that big corporations have a lot of bureaucracy, and it can take many steps to actually to even understand like who is going to be using your solution as a startup, and who needs to be giving the approval to use it, and like there are many steps, and it's difficult to navigate. So what I saw like from my experience is that actually people like Yalan, like who help startups navigate, is critical. Like somebody needs to be basically take your solution and you know, take it to the right person, do the critical touch when it's necessary, and basically guide you and lead you in this process. To be more specific, I think so. We had for our like this wind for the energy business, we actually work with Borusan ENBW, which is one of the biggest Turkish energy companies, and they supported us from the beginning. And we even won a like startup corporate like joint project award, which was very nice, and they definitely deserved it. I hope we did too. And there, our cooperation was like with regular meetings, regular progress, and they provided us their data, and we shared know-how. So from us, it was more at that time more AI expertise, and from their side, it was more domain expertise, because at the end user knows what the problem is and what their needs are usually better, and we have to listen to them. And our role is to actually come up with the solution with our like I think our advantage are our AI expertise and our focus, like the focus on this one problem. So that's what I would say. So like having it's a huge step to have a specific like department and some key people there which are also connected. Like I'm sure Yalan like knows all the key people in his company, and whenever he needs something, he knows who to talk to and who to connect to. And so this is the most critical thing, I think, for successful cooperation.
This is great insights. And I think we experience quite the same when we actually facilitate this cooperation between startups and corporates. But I want to maybe ask Yalan about the same experience, because I think this is also another perspective from the corporate side. So how do you see it, Yalan?
Yeah, look, I also used to be in the startup ecosystem, right? So I spent so much time in Silicon Valley, being an early stage investor, and you know, I got introduced to plug and play through my experience in Silicon Valley, and now I'm in the corporate. So I understand both sides, and what Oz is saying, it's totally true, right? So in the corporation, you have so much bureaucracy, and it's really an uphill battle, right? There's a big culture difference between startup and the corporate, and you know, at Reactful has to be a champion, right? And this is exactly what Oz is saying, that in order to navigate this bureaucracy, somebody has to take your flag and has to carry it across all the different stages, because there's so many things. There's like the procurement process, there are lawyers, there's the budgeting process. And you know, it's there for a reason. I'm not saying, you know, that the corporate culture is bad. It's just there for a reason, because you know, in a big and in a large entity with large budgets, you have to have balancing checks, right? But also, you know, at a corporate level, you have to understand that, like I was saying, existing vendors won't bring you innovative solutions, right? And then it's really hard for an existing corporation to build innovative solutions in-house. And that's why, to be honest, for a corporation, the only option to stay competitive in the existing environment is to go and partner with startups. And really, this internal promoting and internal push for working with startups basically it's like in nowadays environment, it's really common sense, and it really comes up to your ability. Like in my case, I'm the champion, right? In this case, your ability to very concisely and very directly communicate internally to the CEO, to the shareholder, like, look, we have to do this, right? And if we don't do this, then the corporation doesn't have a strategy. And then at that point, after you get your first sale, then it's really up to getting those first pilots and proof of concepts right? And in order to get those right, you have to manage expectations. So basically, again, at a corporate level, everybody's used to being like, oh, we plugged in this piece of hardware, it works, it started generating revenue. And you have to really, like, I spend so much time explaining internally, like, we're like, this is an innovative solution. There's a certain probability that it will fail, but the thing is, if it works, then it gives us so much competitive edge that it will neglect all the other failures. And it's really about also promoting this try quick, fail quick culture. And luckily, again, nowadays there's so many books, so many webinars, so much material out there that you can use to bring about this understanding. So I think this is a really good time, as long as the C-level and the shareholder level at the corporation is willing to listen. There's so much supporting material out there, so many use cases that you can bring and communicate internally, and that's honestly like 80% of my time inside a corporation I spend doing that, promoting this innovating startup culture, and it's actually bearing fruit. We're implementing so many pilots already, and we're already seeing some interesting cases for the railroad. We're already seeing interesting cases for cloud solution, for cybersecurity solutions, and I really believe this is the way to go.
Thank you so much. So I think I don't want to take much of your time, and we're coming to the end of our panel. So maybe shortly we can go to the end of our panel and also end of our meetup. We're officially closing our second focus week of the program 2 in mobility and IoT. But first, I want to thank our panelists for taking their time. And it was a great pleasure to listen to their valuable insights. And secondly, I want to thank our speakers and startups today for their time and effort. We're always learning a lot from them. And lastly, I want to thank our attendees for being here. Hope you enjoyed our meetup, and see you at our next focus week in May. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.